Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good time zone, everyone. Also, I think I just had my mic unmuted the whole time during that. Hopefully I wasn't saying anything weird. Um, Hope everybody is doing all right. Unfortunately, I got something really weird going on with my bitrate right now. It's about half what it's supposed to be. I checked my internet speed and everything seemed to be fine, so I think it's either on Twitch's side or like my connection with Twitch. Knock on wood, it's like the connection seems stable. It just seems like a low bit rate. So we will see. Oh, I probably need to change where the chat is for this game. I'll figure out that in a minute. Yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Hello, Albic. Hello, Yona. Welcome, welcome. Let me see. I still want to do more with my mouth tracking. I didn't get a chance to play around with that any bit longer, so probably no improvements since the last time. Yeah. Sorry if I'm gonna be like distracted a little bit, especially at the beginning of the stream. The bitrate is really making me nervous, but we will see. Okay, chat widgets. Let's see. Well, I don't know where this is actually gonna end up. Or I don't know what's actually gonna be important on screen, so maybe we start the game and move it around once we see kind of where things are in game. Okay, what about like over here? Okay, here we go. Shield hid the stars behind halogen and flame projected onto the night sky, onto the sky every night. I also may have to tweak the audio levels. It's kind of a really annoying noise right off the bat. There was no such thing as silence. The noise never went away. There we go. The refinery exhaled an endless sigh. I couldn't... Oh, choices. I could never sleep. It was so loud. Hold on. Oh wait, no, they moved the screen. Or they moved where the text was. Maybe I should just take the chat off screen. You often dreamed that the towers were cathedrals, that the swamps listened when you spoke, that the birds became radiant spheres while circling Norco's sky. Probably gonna see if I can drop down the ambient sound. You spent your adolescence sweepwalking between little devastating rituals. Though Blake pleaded, you decided to leave. You caught out on a grainer to Chicago and onward to West Coast, thinking you'd never return. You wandered through the overlit suburbs of the vast American limbo. Coming down 99, you saw an old man crouched in a roadside ditch. He was mouthing your name. He had a familiar gaze. He was gone when you wiped the sleep from your eyes. Yeah. Trying to figure out what... Okay, so actually that weird thing is from the, that's actually part of the music, okay. I will probably tweak it a little bit more, but let's do this for now. You spoke to Blake, learning of your mother's declining health, her insomnia, her erratic behavior. You ignored the urgency in your brother's voice. Oh, by the way, I think there was a warning at the beginning of this game that mentioned something about flashing lights. And it's a mature game. Other than that, I don't really have any idea. But possibly some trigger warnings on the content. You ignored the urgency in your brother's voice. You headed east. You threw your phone into the Rio Grande and joined the armies of the Mesa. For months, you were in the company of fugitives, sleeping in nuclear tunnels, repairing engines and weaponry. Yeah, no worries, Abe, I completely understand. The war was a meme that set Albuquerque on fire. You escaped while the foot soldiers of a pop-up junta bloodied the land. While hiding in a freightliner. I forget. You called home from a landline in a motel somewhere beyond Texas. You knew from Blake's hello that your mother was already dead. You hung up, shouldered your bag, returned to the highway. 5 years had passed. You made your way back home. Act 1, Lowland Ghosts. In Albuquerque. Okay, that annoying sound stopped, thankfully. Oh, jeez. Sorry, just watching my bit right here still. You awake from a delirium dream to find yourself in your childhood bedroom. Monkey watches you from the corner. Monkey! Hello, Kaz. How loud is the bird chirping for you? Looks like it's really quiet on the OBS, but it's kind of loud for me. Loud, but acceptable. Okay. Weird, I feel like the audio levels aren't going correctly in OBS or something. Okay. So I have no idea how anything in this game works, so gonna be learning together. Save game. Mind map. Okay, these look like things which may fill up over time, maybe when we find something. You. Hello, Yona. Well, thank you. Monkey, your best friend, a childhood gift. You spoke with him often when things got difficult. But then you left. Right? That's what I said. He sat here for 5 years collecting dust. 5 years. His eyes fill with anger as he challenges you to return his gaze. Staring Contest Part 1, Glyphs. Glyphs will appear in a flash and flash a pattern. Match the pattern to meet Monkey's gaze. Ready? Oh no. Okay. Hopefully we don't have to do that a lot harder. I'm not a big fan of mini games. You successfully meet Monkey's gaze with a cool assurance. However, his expression is unchanged. You stare more intensely. Part 2. different minigame. Oh, whoops. Your stair was no match for monkeys. Hold on, we can do this. Can we hotkey this? No. Like it has to be a mouse. Anger melts from monkey's face. You drape monkey over your shoulder. Yay! We got monkey. Okay, this looks like a map, maybe? Overworld? I don't think we want to go there yet. Monkey? Do you have like an inventory or anything? What are liner notes? Monkey stares at you. You stare at monkey. He stares with more intensity until his gaze passes through you. You become invisible to him. Little circles of light pool in the doll's tired eyes as they watch the infinite space beyond your being. The air that hangs between your eyes and his is a vacuum of utter stillness. You look away. I do not know. I think probably the closest to the genre that's relevant to it is a point-and-click adventure, but I'm not even sure how true that is. I did see in one of the settings somewhere. In one of the settings, this gameplay mode is it for experienced adventure game players that removes text highlighting and other hints to create a more challenging experience. That gives me like point-and-click adventure vibes, but it feels like there's also like either mini games and or quick time events. For instance, there's this little automate combat thing, so that may be like a quick time event or something. A sticker from grade school, half peeled from the window. Cool January air spills through the open window. Commuter traffic glints along Apple Street as a pair of wrens weave out of the overgrown lot next door. The dialogue always going to be over here, so I can probably put the chat back on. And like over here maybe. The laptop your Parain gifted you idles on a shoddy particle board desk. I don't know this word. As the screen illuminates, you notice that the signal in the house is dead. No internet. Oh no, I hope that's not foreshadowing. It looks like Blake was using the computer at some point. He left a browser tab open. Archived YX2Q posts. Anybody still here? Nope, place is a wasteland. Wanted to run something by you gents. Was knocking out saccholate in the spillway. Again, another phrase I don't understand. Saw a big round glowing thing in the sky. Call that the sun, OP. Original poster? Funny, talked to somebody else, seen it too near the parish canal. Nothing like this but birds in them swamps be acting weird. Looked like it was made of glass maybe. Would glow real bright. Then not at all, moved fast. Best pick I could get. All kinds of shit been happening out that way. Go get some sleep, OP. Need cash fast? It's like a fake ad. Install Quackjob. Use the promo code BLEED3 for up to 0.005 Quack coin. Oh, the fuck kind of name is Quackjob? Just like the name sounds. Full of lunatics. App's a way of getting you to join a cult. Worse than that gang in the promenade. Can't trade that coin on any exchanges. Everyone know it's a Ponzi scheme. Seen this exact thing, OP. Still there? Seen at the base of the upper section. This is some sort of like unrecognized thingamabob. Can I like highlight all interactables? Yes. A show flyer from a few weeks before you left town. So I'm back home, huh? A fight broke out during the opening set. This is outside. You didn't feel like being around crowds that night. After the show, you and Blake walked to the river. Walked the river back to Norco. You watched the sunrise over the grain elevators. You assume Million has been keeping the plants alive. I just realized the dialogue went over here this time. But it looks like it has like a max thing right here, so hopefully the chat works there. I may have to decrease the size of the chat window. Among the books on the shelf is a sum volume called Crisis LARPing. The proto-disaster tourism began almost as soon as the floodwaters left. Monks from across the country ventured into the Ninth Ward, Gentilly, St. Bernard, and finally the East. They curated a theatrical self-portrait of their lives in the ruins. The aesthetics of the disaster were central to the emerging milieu. I recognize this word, but don't remember how to pronounce it. It began to percolate into popular culture. Collapse became the zeitgeist. Wise investors recuperated the experience of disaster. New Orleans became a plastic dystopia, a marketplace for crisis. Let's go into our mind palace. Hey, you are home again. Because your brother needs you. Because your mom died. You? We're traveling through the Midwest. The freight cars rattled in the cold dusk as you crouched on the grainer porch. Suburbs, fences, traffic, flat country all passing for miles. You rode in the back of a van from Chicago to Des Moines. You stole a heater from Walmart and brought it to the poorly attended house show. Des Moines to Kansas City to Denver. What about across the Rockies? Your friends went south and you were glad to be alone. You spent the long nights on those highways in a shitty sleeping bag. Pacific Coast. You were in California when the summer arrived. You recall the familiar smile on the face of the old man in the Central Valley ditch. That smile burned its image into your mind. Okay, we can click on other things now. Your brother. Younger, reckless, gets in trouble, spends sleepless nights scrolling. Edgelord, sensitive, compassionate, foolish, can't take criticism, always needs money, tries to help those he loves, but often makes things worse. Insecure, dysmorphic, constantly checking his reflection, always seeking validation, was terrified of you leaving, and now he's terrified of you dying. Needs to get over it. You're all the family he's got. Your brother is oblivious. Your grandma once said that she didn't expect much from Blake. She said he was short-tempered, oblivious, and couldn't focus. Blake was sitting in the chair across from her, staring down at a tablet. After she left the room, you asked him how he felt. I feel fine, he said. Why? 'Cause of what Gran said, he responded. He looked confused. What'd she say? Your brother... Okay, so these don't seem like choices. These seem like dialogue trees that we want to go down. Mom passed away. The cancer metastasized. It was in her liver, then her lungs, then it was in her brain. She was on chemo, never finished the third course. At the hospice on Jefferson Highway, Blake said the traffic shook the building. He left before she drew her last breath. Alone with the morphine drip and the rattling glass. That's how Catherine died. Ditch man. The smile of the man who crouched in the ditch on the highway revisits your mind. His head was smudged with Wednesday ashes, and mascara ran from his eyes. Okay, that looks like everything we can learn about right now. Curious if the game auto saves or not. Okay, let's explore the house before we go to the overworld. I'm very sorry to hear that, Outback. Memories of sleepless nights. Yeah, understandable. Your mom sitting here staring through the window. There was a tension in her demeanor, as if you were interrupting some urgent, obligatory task. You'd continue to the kitchen with no words exchanged. Thank you, Yuna. Hugs for you as well. Of course, enjoy your laydown and hopefully eventually sleep. But those nights were rare. Some you don't remember. A letter from Shield Oil sits atop a stack of mail. Shield Oil Community Notice. Dear neighbor, please be advised. There will be elevated flaring at the site of our number 5 stack near Good Hope on the evening of Thursday, March 19th. This will pose no health risk to residents. If you have any concerns, please contact the Shield Norco Office of Community Engagement. A family photo album. Yellowing pages of disposable photographs. Your grandfather. The peculiar look on his face. Impossible to read. Your mom staring at Blake through the obscure lighting. He's dressed as a vampire, tugging at someone's waist. Pleated khaki shorts. A photo labeled Duck. Scene of a barbecue on the lakefront. The man at the center points playfully at the camera, his face obscured. Turn the page and there's Blue. Your father, though you've never thought of him that way. An easy smile on his face. A canister of dip shoved into his front pocket. You set the book aside. That updated my mind map, not mind palace. Your mom's unfolded laundry. You peruse the titles on the bookshelf. The western margin of the lake. Many tragedies have come out to pass along the western margin of Lake Pontchartrain. The unnamed hurricane of YW90 left the settlements of Frenier and LaBranche in a state of unrecognizable destruction. Those who survived did so by clinging for their lives to the limbs of cypress trees. The fables and secrets of those communities lie with the bones now scattered in the sediment of the lake. Fenceline Diaspora. In the end, we decided to leave the dimes. It wasn't the cat cracker, or the smells, or the fear for our children's health that drove us away, although they played a part. Truth be told, it was the media attention, the spokespeople and activists and academics, and all this. I was done with it. I was done with being a poster child, done being thought of as a victim. I wanted my experience to be my own, not something to gawk at or dissect in a laboratory. A photo of your mom holding Blake as a baby on a beach in Pensacola, Florida. It's winter. You stand beside them, bundled up and laughing as a gust of wind rakes the beach. The sky is bone white. Hello, Blowhigh. Don't let, squeeze you too hard. An old defective flat screen that your mom never bothered to bring to the curb. You turn on the television. Chaotic distortion of your mother's memories flash before you. Are these channels? Do they all go in the same thing? Anything to click on here? Okay, let's see. I'm waiting to sneak up on you when you're least expecting it. I wonder if there's a quick save. No. Okay, what do we get here? That's a good option. Blue is a vague memory. You don't remember Blue, only the things he left behind. Photographs, cologne, tools, the name that your mother kept. Even the pictures that have survived are too faded to make out. Your grandfather, Peter Pops-Pierre Melanson, he passed away when you were a teenager. He seemed to court controversy, though as a child you never understood why. An old friend of your mom's. Your memory of him is scattered and vague. Okay. Let's finish exploring indoors before we go outdoors. Is there a, controls or something? No. Wanted to see if maybe there were some things to choose there. Yeah. Your mom's painkillers are spilled across the counter. You've discovered so many dead cockroaches in this microwave over the years that it's discouraged you from using it. For several months, a dead baby roach was stuck between the clock's display and the protective screen, blocking the hour. Ew! Blake finally shook the microwave aggressively enough that the roach fell into the guts of the machine. Yikes. You were always frightened by the laundry room. There used to be much more clutter up here. You imagine your mom gave it away as the end approached. Surprised there's not much more to do in the attic. I wonder if Monkey has anything to say. Nope. In different rooms. Okay, let's go backyard first, then front door. Oh! Hello. We do not appear to be human. Or they do not appear to be human. I wonder if that means we're not human. A steel pry bar lies on the ground. A disused motorcycle with extensive rust and wear. A disintegrating crab net. Blue taught your mom how to make these, and your mom taught you. In the summers, you bike to the suction before sunrise, tie chicken necks to a net, submerge it, and nurse your coffee while waiting for a bite. Thank you, Iona. The towers of the refinery wink in a subtle and familiar rhythm. Your mom kept all her gear in a plastic container, strapped behind the cab of the truck. Boots, waders, flashlights, tackle, first aid kit, etc. The truck was your grandfather's. You remember riding in his lap while he let you steer. The dead wasps that collected behind the seat, the smell of grease, whiskey, and nicotine. You and Blake would drive the truck into New Orleans on the weekends. No AC, windows down. The rattling chassis was deafening, going 75 on Interstate 10. Million has been slowly repairing the vehicle since your mom's death. Million sits in her characteristic slouch, lost in thought. Her carapace was taken on the rusted and weather-worn quality of the rest of the machinery in the backyard. You recall the night that your mom showed up with her. You and Blake stayed up past dawn, poring over pirated API docs. Her ragdoll mass was slumped on the floor as you wrote the routing procedure. You wonder if such memories hide behind her constellation of eyes. The robot regards you casually. Yeah. So we had robots, but maybe we're human. Okay, you're awake. Couldn't sleep. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. I saw this and thought I accidentally clicked on this, but no, it shows both and highlights the one I selected. Catherine used to say the sound of the refinery gave you restless sleep. In any case, I'm certain I was no help. She gestures toward the motorcycle at the edge of the carport. I was turning over the engine on that bike to test the coils. It was quite noisy, but they're in good shape now. All I need is a fuse, and we can use it to get around while I finish repairing the truck. I heard the phone ringing inside, but I had my hands full. Where can we get a fuse? The gas station just up the road has them, but you may have to persuade Troy to let you in. Were you expecting a call? Many people have been calling since Catherine died. Your brother is usually the one to answer the phone, but I don't know where he went off to. Wonder where he could be. Likely at the bar, or bookstore if I were to guess. Why would so many people be calling? Your mother left behind a lot of loose ends. From what little I know, I gather she was conducting research for a client in Fat City. I sense that many people would like to acquire that data. I am unaware of where she has hidden it. Perhaps Blake knows its whereabouts? Who exactly would want to see the data? Your mother spent her entire life researching this town. She knew histories that others have forgotten. Histories has a lot of value in this place. Who's the client? I haven't a clue. These are things she hasn't discussed with me. As the cancer spread, she became more guarded with her research. He always kept strange company. An occupational hazard, I suppose. Okay. Front yard. Some religious icons. Oh wait. This isn't the front yard, this is like a side yard or something. And let me go back to the backyard here for a second. Oh no, that's right. Oh, this is my current location. Okay, got it. Your grandfather's statue of the Virgin Mary sits in the shadows along the crawl space of the house. Your mom fed the neighborhood strays. They must be hungry since she passed. 3 times this house is flooded. The first flood is barely a memory. Placing your feet on drenched carpet, your mom and grandfather ripping out sheetrock, sitting in a small RV in the backyard, setting dolls on a cluttered table. Oops. The second flood, you were 14. The pumping station failed during a heavy rain. You were in class watching clouds move upriver. You got a text message from Mom. Stay in Destrehan. I'll come get you. For 2 weeks you shared a hotel room with your mom and Blake. You spent all days gutting the house. In the evenings you would sometimes help. The third, another pump failure. Your mom hired contractors with the insurance money. She said she was getting too old for it. You were bitter. You blamed her for not selling the house sooner. You stayed with friends in New Orleans. The fourth flood will follow in a slow hurricane and will be a calamity. It will leave the entire region submerged as critical levees breach. There will be a massive blackout that lasts weeks. Much of the sewerage infrastructure will be damaged beyond repair. The embattled federal government will do nothing to assist. It will bankrupt the region. Small militant enclaves will form along the high ground of the Mississippi River. They will take to piracy and hijack commercial vessels. Private mercenary forces will retaliate in kind. Slowly, the industry will flee this hot zone. The old river control structure will collapse from neglect and sabotage. The Mississippi River will again change its course. Norco, an old abandoned refinery town on a ghost of a river. Your house will be squatted and then razed. Interesting. Seems to be some sort of like... I don't know if it's a... definitely will happen in the future, prediction of what will happen in the future. Three crows eye you from the power line. The overhead light of the neighbor's kitchen illuminates yellow wallpaper and unused furniture. And a spooky-looking Mary statue, if you ask me. You observe the weathered concrete and flaking paint of the statue. The face is especially deteriorated, framed by a system of cracks. Okay, I wonder, I'm a bit curious if, okay, the prey was a choice. So, I was wondering if that was like a dialogue option I would have to choose. Proceed. You run your hands along the deteriorating contours. It snaps off, as if by design. Behind the statue's face hides an odd assemblage of electronics, carelessly soldered together. At the center of the electronic configuration is what appears to be a card reader. Interesting. Get out to the street. Dimes is a discount store. Howdy, private investigators. We snooped for you. Amazing. The snowball stand is closed for the winter. Snow cone stand, feel like. The turtle! He crawled out the trash can. Don't touch him, see? He's dirty. No, he's not. Turtles are always clean. They live in water. Trash water is not clean. Let's go. Just let me stare a little longer. He's pretty. The lights are on at Padu Private Investigators. You knock, but there's no answer. Okay. The two sisters continue to argue over the turtle that crawled out the trash can. Floodgate Tavern added a map. Okay, let's click on the overmap here. Okay. Wanted to get a little view of what that was all about. The Floodgate Tavern. Many shield workers gather here after their shifts. It's closed. Should be open later this evening. Okay, Dime's Discount seems to be the only place left. Oh, and that's a gas station, or at least there's a gas station here. A freight loader is being repaired at in the Batur woods over the levee. A film crew is set up along River Road. Several floodlights illuminate a gruesome murder scene. Two men stand pensively above a corpse. As you near the set, a small, energetic man jumps up from his chair. Attention, dumbass! Can't you see we're trying to shoot here? What are you filming? It's a detective drama called None of Your Goddamn Business. Any other questions? Is this a murder scene? Keep it up and it will be. Hey, you know what? Wait a second. You from around here? We could use some cultural expertise, you might say. We're filming a Bayou cop drama, and all these knuckleheads are from LA. An actor on set turns towards the director. I told you, Kevin, I'm from Texas. Oh, that's right, Noah. I forgot. Your Harvard-educated daddy bought a boutique ranch outside Austin. Well, that don't make you a cowboy, Hoss. Now hush up before you scare off the yokel. The director returns his attention to you with a mild look of disgust. Help us out, will you? This script needs some work. What do you say? Sure. Hey, Noah. Get over here so you can learn something from this stupid redneck. Wow, amazing. The actor smolders. He whispers under his breath. I'm a redneck. Fine, Noah, you're a redneck. A real salt-of-the-earth kind of guy. But as luck would have it, we came across an even dumpier hayseed than you, okay? So just take a knee. Alright, anyway, we need some good slang. What do you call a villain? A bad apple, a lowlife. An asshole. That's it? An asshole? Thanks a lot, William Faulkner. That's real creative. Now get out of here, you're holding up production. Interesting. I wonder if convincing him with something creative changes anything. So many evenings spent watching traffic pass by this gas station. Little has changed. The neighboring business still sits abandoned. The surrounding streets are quiet and empty. Well. Look who's back. What happened? Carnival forget you by the side of the road? And you even brought your little doll. That's cute. Wow, Troy, you look like shit. I'm not even gonna start with you. How come the rest of your family's so chill, but you so uptight? My mom just died, thanks. You're not that stupid, are you, Catherine? Too vulnerable. They'd never let her die. If anything, she's probably vacationing on a hard drive somewhere. You're trolling me about my dead mom? Trolling? You so damn sensitive, can't say nothing around you. Your mom was excavating all along the rim of the lake. She used to pay me to help from time to time, matter of fact. She needed somebody smart. Somebody vigilant. The zoom in and whipping sound is kind of interesting. Somebody like me. Especially with S.H.I.E.L.D. snooping around. I've seen some wild shit out in them swamps with Catherine. What kind of shit? I won't bother telling you about it. Might hurt your brain. Anyhow, this ain't story time. Not letting you in this gas station goddamn company that runs this dump did me dirty. They swapped me with an ATM machine for speaking truth. Ain't let nobody through till I get an apology very least. That sucks. Don't patronize me with your weak pity. If you really want to get through, go give me some of them pills your brother was selling. They might persuade me. Yeah, shuffle off then. Interesting. There's a fight. I'm sure it's just like a quick time event type thing. Alright. I could be wrong, but I'm getting the... I'm sort of getting the feeling that I kind of want to live with the consequences of anything that I say. So... a memorial languishes in the river mud, a 2x4 cross, plywood plaque, cairns of pulverized concrete, sprayed haphazardly onto the plywood and is a remembrance. Here passed the brave freedom fighters of the January... Wait, what's a W in Roman numerals? Hold on, let me look that up. What is a W in Roman numerals? There is no W. It's not a V. X11, whose cries of liberty echo through the generations. In much smaller lettering, a different hand scratched fake across the bottom of the plaque. A lone horse drinks from the stagnant water pooled along the riverbank. A man sits on a pile of flotsam, his head buried in his canvas jacket against the sharp air. Stupid horse. The man's gaze stays fixed on the opposite river, never turning to you nor the horse. Hello, potato. Welcome, welcome. Yeah? He spits on the dirt at his feet. You know what all they dump in that water? Hell of a cocktail. He spits again, wiping a string of mucus onto his sleeve. What you out here for, anyway? Ain't you heard they got a criminal loose? Best be sharp, young one. Okay, well, I believe we sort of exhausted abilities, or things to do that we've seen. We can fight Troy, presumably, but I'm hoping there's another option. It looks like some of our stuff has turned blue in our mind palette, so that presumably means they have new things. Also, these three are new, but this one Was something we had before, but it's now blue. Your mom was conducting research. For who? For a client in Fat City. Eh? Oop. Client? Your mom was conducting research for a client in Fat City. That's all you know. Okay. Guess maybe as we learn more, we'll be able to come in here and ponder about it. Million, that's the robot fixing our truck. Or motorcycle. Million was a security android. She guarded the perimeter of the aluminum refinery in Gramercy. One day she ran away. You don't know? Define her family? What? No, okay, I was wondering about that. Once a fugitive, now just a relic. She spends hours in stasis beneath the house, like any discarded thing would. Cheerful. Shield is the oil company. Oil refinery. Shield Gulf South is a regional subsidiary of a transnational oil empire. It holds a large share of leases in the Gulf of Mexico and refines crude oil right here in Norco. The chemical annex sits on the other side of the town from the refinery. It produces the feedstock for plastic consumer products. Shield owns half the town. Troy knows your family. He was buying pills from Blake and occasionally helping your mom with her research. He says she was conducting research in the lake. Is this the lake he was talking about? Monkey still doesn't do anything. Okay. I guess we haven't been to the oil refinery. I don't know if we can even go there yet. The sprawling Shield Industrial Complex. Long ago, it was a plantation land, cheap and abundant along the Mississippi River. The refinery grew in stages, slowly displacing the surrounding neighborhoods. The chemical annex came online later. Children of the enslaved became the neighbors of this machine. The towers are carbon and alloy and stainless steel. Among the columns sits the catalytic unit. Among the columns sits the catalytic cracking unit that rocked the town. The pipelines, the webwork crosses high and low, over and under traffic and water and concrete, like veins, like gossamer, like neural circuitry. The lights everywhere, metal halide probing the river's expanse, coated patterns of warm sodium in cold LEDs, winking, thinking, knowing. Something to decipher in all that Norco light. I remember blue. You only think that you do. When he died, part of her died too. Okay, so that was just something to click on, rather than someplace to go. Alright, I do feel like we have now potentially exhausted this stuff. Unless we want to fight Troy. Let me briefly up around real quick, make sure that there's nothing else that showed up here. Oh, pills. We couldn't pick them up earlier, so I felt that like they were non-interactive, but I guess we had to learn about them first. You pocket your mom's pills. No, we got an inventory, pills. Okay, back to the overworld here. Alright, well we got an ad coming up real shortly, so let me go ahead and start the break now. And we'll have a conversation with Troy once we'll give him the pills once we get back from the ads. See everybody soon.